Here are 50 amazing facts to blow your mind. Descendants of the long feuding families, the Hatfields and McCoys, appeared on TV show Family Feud in 1979 in costume and with a pig on stage. Neurorealism is a fallacy in science where people ascribe too much faith in psychological phenomenons merely because it's backed up by brain imaging methods. President of the New York City Police Commission, Theodore Roosevelt, would regularly walk the city streets at night or in the early morning to make sure officers were on duty. The Wire did not receive a single Emmy during its 5-season run, and it only received 2 Emmy nominations, both for writing. A group exploring the Arkansas River sent 2 grizzly bear cubs back to President Jefferson in 1807. Rough sleeping is still a crime in the United Kingdom under the Vagrancy Act of 1824. 17-year-old female pitcher Jackie Mitchell struck out Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig in succession during an exhibition match. As a consequence, the baseball commissioner terminated her contract, and Ruth later trash-talked about women in baseball to a newspaper. In Sweden, almost anyone's address, age, and floor number, and even move-in date can easily be found online. This is because of the Freedom of the Press Act that contains provisions on the right to access official documents, such as the national registration data. Crab-eating macaques that start conflicts with other macaques show higher signs of stress, such as scratching after the conflict. The troublemaker usually calms down when the macaques reconcile. Researchers theorize the aggressor is more worried about ruining partnerships than anything else. Carlo Gambino, namesake of the Gambino crime family and one of the most powerful mafia bosses in US history, only spent 22 months in prison during a 50-year criminal career. The broadfish tapeworm is the longest tapeworm in humans, averaging 10 meters long, and that it can shed up to 10 million eggs a day. In the early 2000s, a German priest received several TV license bills addressed to Saint Walpurga. After one letter threatened the saint with legal action and a €1,000 fine, the priest responded that Saint Walpurga had never owned a TV, as she died in 777. In November of 2020, golfer Jon Rahm successfully shot a hole-in-one practicing for the Masters tournament by skipping his golf ball across a pond. As part of a live fire test for a nuclear air-to-air rocket, 5 US air crewmen agreed to stand directly beneath the nuclear explosion to prove that it would not affect ground populations. Italian artist Salvatore Jarau auctioned off an invisible sculpture called Lo Sono. In English, this means I am, and he sold it for $18,300 at the Art-Rite auction house. The buyer received only a certificate of authenticity. According to the artist, the art exists as air and spirit within a 5 by 5 foot space intended to spark imagination. In 2010, the principal of West Sylvan Middle School in Oregon banned hugging after observing that girls were hugging 6 to 7 times between classes and students were arriving late due to excessive hugging. It was being used as a game to provoke arousal in boys and at least once as a form of mockery. In 2008, Hugh Laurie made a single offhand comment claiming that a perk of being a celebrity was having a special lifetime, unlimited Burger King Crown Card, enabling him to eat there for free. He actually didn't have one, but after his comment, it caused a huge public response and Burger King gave him one. The movie Boyhood from 2014 was filmed from 2002 to 2013 and began filming without a completed script. It only had basic plot points and the ending written initially. Director Richard Linklater developed the script throughout production and incorporated changes he saw in the actors into the script. Texas A&M has a campus in Qatar. Mick Jagger's ex-wife Jerry Hall and Keith Richards both reportedly asked Jagger to seek help for his sex addiction, and both were thrilled when he sought help for that addiction. That was until Jagger ended up seducing that therapist. Taste buds are not confined to your tongue. Your soft palate, epiglottis, and even upper esophagus all have taste buds. Even your gums have a limited function to taste. Art Scholl, a stunt pilot, died during the filming of the original Top Gun. He crashed due to being unable to recover from a flat spin. The Florida platform, on which all of Florida and parts of adjacent states sit, was originally part of the African continent that became attached to the North American continent in the Jurassic geological period. During a set at the 1995 US Open, tennis player Shuzo Matsuoka collapsed from severe cramping for several minutes and was defaulted for delaying the match. The incident led to a rule change in professional tennis to allow players to receive medical treatment for matches without forfeiting. Henry VIII only publicly acknowledged one of his illegitimate children, this being Henry Fitzroy, being a Norman name translating to son of the king, and set him up in an estate and made him Duke of Richmond and Somerset. The African eyeworm is a parasite that can crawl across the surface of the human eyeball while the person is awake. After leaving the White House, Harry Truman was pulled over on the Pennsylvania Turnpike for driving too slowly in the passing lane. Diceamida is a phylum of aquatic microorganisms whose members parasite off of renal glands of cephalopods. In the late 1990s, McDonald's began implementing its made-for-you system into its restaurants, which did away with a decades-old process of making sandwiches by the batch ahead of time and putting them in warming bins. In 1973, the English TV company ATV started new Strands continuity announcements between programs. That then developed into the breakout monster chaotic hit show TISWAS that ran for a further 8 years and introduced many UK star performers. The UK Passport Office actually declined to issue a 6-year-old British girl a passport because the child's name was Khaleesi, which was under Warner Brothers trademark. After the story was reported on and it was determined that a birth name cannot be trademarked and that trademarks are for goods and services, the decision was reversed. In 2018, a hurricane washed away an island that was home to almost half of the green sea turtles in Hawaii. Idaho has a port to the Pacific Ocean even though the state is landlocked. William B. Wilson, the first U.S. Secretary of Labor, was born in Scotland and worked in Pennsylvania coal mines starting at the age of 9. Fatty liver disease is a type of chronic liver disease that happens when there's excessive fat buildup in the liver, and it's becoming the leading cause of primary liver cancer. Green River, Wyoming, population 12,000, is home of Greater Green River Intergalactic Spaceport for refugees from Jupiter. In 2009, Ken Basin became the first contestant on the US version of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire to miss the $1 million question. He debated what he would regret more, walking away with $500,000 and being right, or answering it and being wrong. He risked it and lost $475,000 and left with $25,000. Napoleon Bonaparte has a geometric theorem named for him. At the Battle of Hastings, panic rose among the Norman warriors as a rumor spread that Duke William was killed. This prompted William to ride with his face exposed and yelling out to show his fleeing Normans that he was still alive. In 2018, Dolce & Gabbana marketed culturally insensitive ads in China, leading to widespread condemnation. A leaked Instagram screenshot later showed Gabbana's alleged derogatory remarks about the Chinese. Though Gabbana claimed that his account was hacked, he had a history of offensive remarks. Prior to his pivotal victory at Edington, Alfred the Great was once forced to flee and hide in the marshlands in Somerset after a surprise attack. General Order No. 28 was after occupying New Orleans during the Civil War. Major General Benjamin Butler decided that any woman caught insulting a Union soldier should be treated like a lady of the night. The order sparked such outrage at home and abroad that Butler was removed from command. In the United States, New Jersey is the only state that requires a learner or provisional driver to actually indicate that on their vehicle in any way. The pangolin's tongue is the length of the entire torso and not attached to the back of its mouth like other animals, but instead somewhere deep in its body between the rib cage and the pelvis. The endonym for Bhutan is Drukyul, meaning the land of the thunder dragon. Their head of state is Druk Gyalpo, the Dragon King, and wears a Uza Jaro Chen, the Raven Crown. The urine of the maned wolf has a very distinctive odor, which some liken to hops or cannabis. The responsible substance is likely a pyrazine, which also occurs in both plants. In 2006 at the Rotterdam Zoo, this smell once set the police on a hunt for cannabis smokers. The only mention of the Wicker Man in ancient times comes from Julius Caesar on his Gallic Wars, and later Strabo in the Geographica. John James Audubon once tricked fellow naturalist Constantine Rafinesque into publishing studies of made-up animals after Rafinesque destroyed his violin. Great white sharks are commonly seen at the ocean surface, but have been known to dive as deep as 6,150 feet. The grams of protein on high protein labels can be misleading. The percent of daily value is the real number to check because it multiplies protein grams by a quality score, or PDCAAS, to show how much of that protein is actually usable. But that's it. Let me know what you guys thought of this video, which fact you found most interesting. Leave a like, and I'll see you guys in the next one.